Welcome to the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. It's Super Sunday, and we're back with another theme. The theme today is horror and thriller. You'll have to stay tuned to find out what that means, because we don't know. What is it, Slacks? All right, welcome back indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with DreamLeague Season 7, sponsored by Monster Energy. It is indeed Super Sunday. We've got 1 day left of this season of DreamLeague for the EU group stage. We will find out the top 3 teams that will be moving on to Atlanta. It is not locked in. We've got a lot of big games today, boys. Oh, yeah.
Oh, diggity dooey. My most hyped series so far, Liquid versus VP. I've been waiting for this bad boy. Yay!
It is. It's actually going to be a really hyped series. Unfortunately, it will be on the old patch. Liquid, as we know, is in China. We'll talk about
dead
it.
Patch?
Whoa! It has been resurrected and brought back to life here on
scary.
Horror Sunday. Yes, Roshan drops cheese on the 3rd death. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Shrines are active.
Whoa! Well, look out.
Laning phase doesn't mean anything.
Oh, Monkey King was still powerful.
That was actually scary. Monkey King having some real power.
Jumping from the trees and killing you.
Everyone had to think about their drafts instead of selecting Troll Warlord. Sorry.
This is true, though.
Too dank.
Yeah, so we'll have more on that coming up, of course, but that first series, unfortunately, pre-recorded. Liquid is in China right now for Star Ladder, so they played that a little while ago. But don't worry, all 3 of our final series today are live on 7.06. Don't get confused. I know, it's hard to follow. It's very confusing.
Confusing for us. It's got to be confusing for them.
It is. It is hard to cast when you go back on the old patch, try to remember all those changes that you've eviscerated from your memory, eh, Slacky?
I mean, like, I pay attention anyway. I don't care. You guys could probably throw up something from 6.5 and I wouldn't even know. Like, oh, wow, interesting that they kept their same rosters. Anyway.
This is true.
Yes, very good. So what's up, Owen? You're awfully quiet this morning.
Well, I'm just chilling.
A little change of pace here.
Enjoying the theme. Looking
Owen's afraid of ghosts!
See, he horrified us the last 2 days on the opening with the panel, so today he's gone full meta and he's keeping it quiet, close to the vest.
Owen's afraid of phantoms.
Now that was a risky business.
You ever heard of
Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia.
No, but I have heard of Shantytown.
Shantytown. We're not bringing up Shantytown right here.
God,
Not yet.
You ever heard of Skinwalkers, Owen?
No.
What is
Skinwalkers? Old Native American legend, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a video game?
No.
This is not a video game.
No, it's back in the
Real
day.
life. This is real life.
You could only become a chief by killing a skinwalker. Only chiefs could kill him. They were a legend in Native American folklore that they could take on the form of humans, be out there in the night, and then.
So it was just a human.
Don't ruin
They just
it.
made themselves feel good about killing by calling a skinwalker.
How do you identify these Nightcrawler creatures?
You don't know. They look like your friends and family. They'll just be out there in the field, just chilling, and then you'll be like, "What's she doing out there?" And you'll walk out there, and then they'll turn around and.
You know, I heard a story
So
very
you're a
similar to this,
skinwalker.
Slacks. It was called the Salem Witch Trials.
That was actually just 3 girls high on mushrooms.
Oh, that's all it was, huh?
It was, actually.
Well, then how did they summon all the demons? Was it the mushrooms?
Demons? There were no demons. There's 3 girls high on mushrooms calling everybody fucking witches.
He's
What
not wrong.
happened
He's
to the
not
girls
wrong.
in the end?
What?
Was it a happy ending?
Not
was
really.
a-
Not for the witches.
Not for them.
Not for them.
Not.
Was it
Oh,
a
not
happy
for them, or
ending,
for the
though?
witches?
Have you seen a witch since the Salem trials? No.
That
We will
is
today.
true.
We will today, though.
We looked it up. They're gone.
I can't see anything.
When was that? How many years ago was
The
it?
readjustment.
About 5 years ago was the Salem witch trial.
1800s?
5 years ago.
What
the hell?
We hung those women.
I believe you're wrong.
Was it
Brian.
1800s?
was,
1700s?
1926.
1926.
You made that up.
I thought that's when Columbus landed in America.
I don't believe that's right either, actually. I think everyone's just making stuff
No,
up.
not quite.
10 years.
It's Horror Sunday. The amount of misinformation is truly horrifying on this panel.
20 years
right.
before World War II, we discovered America.
NA
We got
I was
through
told
all-
to take control of you today. And we're talking about Dota.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
Dota.
Sorry.
Oh,
Well, that comes later on, though. This is what the pre-show is all about.
Yeah.
This,
All right,
this
so
Slash
continue.
is allowed to get it out here in the pre-show. That's why we do this.
And he's got his little buddy with
What's
him
the
right in front
most
of him. So.
unexplained, scary thing that's ever happened to you guys?
That right there. That right there. I believe.
I've not really had anything scary happen. I mean, I know you've had scary stories. I mean, you've told us. So. Have you had anything?
His
spooky?
childhood was pretty scary.
Have you
I
ever
mean, I've
seen
had
anything
some-
paranormal fogged?
Nothing paranormal. I've had some scary stuff though. Have you ever heard cats in heat?
Cats.
Yes.
And
That
Yeah,
is
when they're in
actually
heat.
quite scary.
So-
Wait, what is that?
My old house was quite big. You know, I had like a very like tall house. It was like 6 or 7 floors or something like that. So, and I was on the top floor. Nobody else was on any of the floors. For like top floor, next floor, nobody, until like the 3rd floor was where my parents were. So I'm sitting there watching. I used to stay up really late watching movies.
You? No way.
Ah, no way, right? 6 o'clock in the morning, pretty much. And I'm just watching. I don't remember what it was. It was like House on Haunted Hill, some garbage movie, honestly. But I just start hearing a baby crying. It sounded like a baby crying from my upstairs, from my attic. And I was actually horrified. I instantly ran downstairs, like just terrified. I woke my parents up, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So we're walking back upstairs, and they start hearing it, just like, and we're like, "What the? There's no babies in my house, nothing like that." So we go up to the attic, and it turns out there was a cat there with like a bunch of new like baby kittens and stuff like that. But the cat was in heat, and cats in heat do kind of sound like babies crying. But that was really terrifying though for me.
Yeah.
In the
So
middle of
you
the night,
found a
hearing
bunch
that.
of kittens.
But there was a happy-
But we found a bunch of cats.
Scared
It was a
the
happy
shit out of me.
ending. It was a
I
happy
found
ending.
The initial was
Found a
absolutely
bunch of
terrifying.
kittens.
What did you
time.
do with the kittens?
We ate them.
We gave them to a bunch of friends and stuff.
Oh, you didn't keep any.
My mom did not like cats.
I didn't like cats.
She does not like cats.
You know, it's rumored that I was born in a haunted house.
Whoa!
My parents claimed that there was a Civil War era boy ghost that would come around and appear when they were alone with the baby.
Oh.
Probably full of shit. Maybe my parents were on mushrooms. I don't know. But
What if you're possessed by
maybe
a Civil War baby ghost?
that would explain everything. I have the power of a Civil
Wait a
War
minute.
baby and a grown man.
Now I'm actually thinking. A lot of things are making sense right now, Andrew.
The power of a Civil War baby. Damn you, Britain! Oh wait, wrong war.
Wrong war.
That was whatever.
Damn you,
Wait,
the
wait,
South.
does it civil mean within a country?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was
yes,
close
that was.
There's probably someone called Britain though in America, and they stole like, loads of
Probably.
names.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a Britain?
New England.
There's a New England.
Close
yeah.
enough, right?
New Jersey,
Damn you,
right?
New
That comes
England.
from.
I believe Britain is the first name of Cheeky Hernandez.
Please not back Cheeky Hernandez.
Britain Hernandez.
Britain.
Look at you
Well, that's a
recycling
go.
these memes, Slacks. My word.
Britain.
That's so
Hernandez.
yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Oh my! All right, more horror stories. Anybody?
Sure.
Owen, you have a good one. What was the scariest thing you've encountered? I'm sure you've seen some shit in your day, huh?
I don't nothing paranormal, nothing that I've generally been spooked by.
You've never been scared?
No, there was a couple of times when I was younger. The whole kind of when you sometimes have those dreams where you wake up and there's I woke up and there was someone in the room with me, and there shouldn't have been. Like everyone was downstairs and there was just someone standing in the doorway, and it was one of those kind of shadowy figures that gets closer and closer, and then you try and scream and make some sort of a noise, but it's just air that's coming out. It's like and you can't move or do anything, and this figure just kept getting closer and closer, and then you're out.
Wow.
And that's it.
Spooky.
And that's when the aliens changed me.
Ah.
I could tell you a scary story.
Oh yeah.
That story that could haunt every Dota player for a lifetime.
I already know what's coming.
What was it?
It's gonna be Shantytown.
Shantytown. Once upon a time, on a pro Dota circuit, there was a team. A team that was near unbeatable. Everyone thought that they would be the greatest team of all time, especially because of their carry.
Was
mid.
it Speed Gaming?
No!
Is it going to end with S4 Quap?
No!
Oh.
Stop. Everyone loved the team, but one little boy on that team just couldn't take it. He wanted more. More than he should have ever gotten. So he left that team, and he joined Team Secret. Everyone thought Team Secret would do good, and they all came to TI, but they lost. And then he went back to EG. It was Arteezy the whole time.
So it was speed gaming.
So it was.
Yeah, it was.
That was it.
That was really a scary story, Slack.
That was scary for, the legal department. Not for us, I guess. Anyway. No, I don't know.
have anything else, actually.
I got some spooky
Was
tales. I got a lot of spooky
Isn't that your
tales.
story about staying in the house and there's a ghost moose and then the moose woke the
Don't
baby?
ruin the climax of the story.
Is that the end of
Start
the
with
story?
the punchline, and it was a moose.
How'd you got that story about the spooky moose?
All right, what's the scariest movie you ever saw, Slacks?
Scariest
You ever been
movie
scared
I
by a
ever-
movie?
Oh yeah, what's scariest movie?
Katy Perry's documentary.
Did you watch it? What the hell? Why?
My girlfriend was watching that movie because she loves Katy Perry. Funny story though. They had a hollandaise sauce at Outback Steakhouse. They made us all try it. I ate a ton of this hollandaise sauce, and it ruined my stomach. And
Isn't it hollandaise?
I don't care. And I was watching this Katy Perry movie, and I knew I was gonna puke, but I was just holding it and holding it. And then once she started singing, I just started vomiting everywhere. And my girlfriend's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I was like, "It's just Katy Perry. I can't." It was great.
Event Horizon.
A lot of,
Event Horizon. What's that?
I watched it when I was like 5 years old. My cousin made me watch it, and it's like an old movie. It's like a space movie
Okay.
where they like open a dimensional portal to hell. Blah 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 blah. It's weird.
Dimensional portal.
Yeah,
to
it
It
hell.
doesn't
It's
really
some
make
weird-
sense.
Aha.
They
It
find
doesn't
a
really
black
make sense.
hole, and it turns out the
Okay.
black hole is a portal to hell,
Yeah,
or
pretty
something
much.
like that.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
God
guys.
damn it.
Spoilers.
It came out in like the
Yeah.
70s. or
God
some shit,
damn it,
so-
guys.
Late 80s or something, but there's
Yeah.
like a scene where like the girl's like the pilot that they find is pretty much like turned around like this, and she turns like that, and she has no eyes, and that haunted me for like 10 years because I watched it when I was
Damn.
like 5.
I had the same experience with the first Exorcist movie. You know,
Okay.
it's pretty dumb now, but that scene when she crab walks down the stairs,
Can you do that again, please?
When
I was not into that shit.
When I was a kid, my parents wouldn't let me watch X-Files. And
Oh.
I always snuck downstairs and watched X-Files, and I got real scared of aliens. And I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid. So I would have dreams about being abducted, and then I would just wake up in my front lawn, and I'd be like, oh, it happened.
I've been abducted.
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, I love that
No.
show!
What's it? Oh,
That was
that's a
good
mayonnaise
stuff.
show.
Have you
It's
watched
like
it?
Nickelodeon, old school.
Oh.
A
Old
few
school.
of those episodes are actually pretty damn
Yeah.
scary.
No, they're not. You should watch them
When
as
we were, like-
adults, though.
when we were,
They're
like, 5.
amazing.
Dude, the one with
They're
the lady that
amazing.
steals people's faces, that one's pretty creepy. That weird mask she's got on, it still creeps
I
me
don't
out.
remember like any of them.
Rewatch
actually.
that
Dude,
episode, Slacks. I
I've been
dare you.
rewatching them as an adult,
serious?
and they're dank.
I've-
I love
Yeah, I
them.
think they're
I
all
used to
on
watch it a
YouTube,
lot.
actually.
What are they? What are they? Just like it's a
Just like
TV show
scary
that's just
stuff.
like
It's like
little
Goosebumps shit.
story.
No,
Oh,
well,
okay.
it was a Nickelodeon show where it was about teenagers, and every episode they gather around the campfire and
Yep.
they'd tell a scary story, and then it
Okay.
would, be
Shows.
some kind of weird thing. But it was different actors in every, kind of like Law and Order or something. You know, each episode was
How
different.
quick do you think in this day and age those kids would get sent to therapy?
Yeah,
Meet
pretty-
every night at a
telling these
campfire in the woods and tell scary stories. They'd be like, these children have ADHD.
You know,
Here's some drugs.
But Slacks, what kind of stories would they tell that like you say you look back and are funny rather than scary? Now,
Oh, they're
Just
great. They're great. Half the
don't remember.
stories aren't even, they're just like, one time, 10 years ago, little Johnny loved knights and catapults. Like, what? They're
yeah, it's
all
usually
amazing.
some weird fantasy type thing.
The acting is. mwah.
The real scary part about that show was starting forest fires. There's no way you could put out that fire with one bucket of water. That's not safe.
Yeah, those kids were definitely not
Smokey the
safe.
Bear would have had words with those little bastards.
He would have killed him.
Oh
I can't
my.
believe you've watched it recently.
Dude,
Yeah.
That's like 20 years
they're
ago for me.
freaking great. You've
good.
got to check them out.
It's a horror show
believe
made
it.
for kids 9 and younger. I think that's what it's rated, or 9 and up rather. That's what it's
Listen,
rated.
if we have any delays
9
today,
and
production, can we watch some Are You Afraid of the Dark? And we'll. Copyright does not exist in the 1980s.
You were-
There is no copyright on Shantytown.
There's no copyright for Shantytown.
All right, gang. We're going to need your help, guys. Tweet at us questions, please. For the love of God, save us. Hashtag DHDreamLeague or at DreamHackDota. Either one will work, but if you've got questions for this panel, tweet them over, and we may field a couple of those as we have some downtime throughout the show today. And remember, it's going to be a long show. We've got 4 two-game series, so good chance we'll be able to field a couple of those questions there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The scariest thing of all, sharing our feelings. Oh.
All right, so speaking of those games, we've got a lot coming up. We already talked about our first one, Team Liquid versus Virtus Pro. Again, that is pre-recorded on patch 7.05 as Liquid has a conflict in China right now. But everything else will be live. After that, we will see Virtus Pro versus Mouse, then Virtus Pro versus Empire, and last but certainly not least, EPG versus Empire, our final series. I don't believe that one will count for a hell of a lot, but
Just money.
Money and pride. Money and pride on
money
that.
and
First
Mitch.
series, though, this first series is actually super important, right? Because if VP 2-0 is Liquid, that gives them a big chance to coming toward the top 3. But
Well,
if they lose 0-2, then it does kind of affect them pretty heavily as
Bog,
well.
this will be a great time to look at the standings and put some numbers to what you're
Bam.
talking about here,
Thank you.
because you are exactly right, my friend. This first series is absolutely huge. VP, we're all waiting in suspense.
There it is. Now remember, if Empire wins every game,
Yeah. So let's hold it here for a second. VP, you played 14 games total. They've only played 8. So this will be the remainder of Virtus Pro today. And with only 4 losses, they could make it all the way to the top. Vegas Squadron 9-5. Their fate no longer in their hands. They've played all of their games, so still a lot of mobility.
So wait, the last series actually does matter a lot
it matters
for
a
Empire.
lot.
And it matters for
Empire
Empire. Okay, I
has
was
to
wrong.
2-0.
All right.
Yeah,
Empire
so
has to win.
If Empire beats VP
Yeah.
2-0, and then if they beat Elements 2-0, they're put in front, and then we're gonna have some like tiebreakers or something.
And it
How does
will
this
be
work?
I
the
guess so.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, I don't know. What are the tiebreak scenarios in this situation?
Ah,
do we know?
well. Yes,
know?
indeed.
Because we'll have a lot of teams with 9 wins then.
Both teams
Closer.
come and see who can eat the most meat sticks. The
Without
loser
dying.
goes home.
First team to have a heart attack loses. So a lot of good games coming up today, though. And it's always good when the group stage has relevant games all the way through, and those last couple series could, be the decider for some of these teams. But unfortunately for Mao's, their dreams, they will not be able to make the top
So,
three.
but Elements could actually ruin Empire's chances. So if Empire does 2-0 VP and then Elements just busts it out, Mitch just goes ham.
Mitch?
Mitch.
Yeah.
Well, Elements could definitely use a good series to round out their group stage. We saw them take their
Round out.
their first win.
That's ambitious.
They had a brutal final series yesterday. Na'Vi, just 2 very fast games, kind of steamrolled over them.
Yep.
Tough stuff. Poor Gogi.
Yep.
Gogi, we trust.
Poor Googie. You ever heard of the abominable snowman, bro?
Please tell us about the Abominable Snowman. We
That-
got to bring
that-
our
that
guest on,
exists,
so we've
doesn't
got
it?
one more. One more.
Is the Abominable Snowman different to the Yeti?
Yes.
It's different.
Yes.
Not the
There's
same.
a
Wait, how is it
Bigfoot,
different?
a Yeti,
Yeah.
a snowman, and even a swamp monkey. And that sounds racist, but it's actually
How is that? That's not racist.
it's
No one lives in a swamp.
a lot of people live in the
No,
swamp.
You ever been to Louisiana?
I was just saying,
Maybe in
Bon
a,
temps.
They
Bon
say
temps.
we don't
Bon
do
temps.
swamps in EU.
They say that in the darkest woods, there is a creature. It's like a man. It's a hairy man.
Is that our special guest?
No. Yes. One of the final survivors from the Yeti. Are they just earlier versions of humans?
Probably.
Or, as the Sci-Fi Channel showed me in the documentary, Bigfoot, Alien or Myth, are they actually ancient aliens? There's only one
We
way
don't
to
know.
find out.
We don't know.
And this begins the career of Slacks on the History Channel. Folks, stay tuned. We got our guest coming on. You know who it is, but you're going to have to wait to see if you're right.
Bring me the Yeti!